Scent Bird, I smell good, bish. And if you want to smell good like me, you'll click down below in the description box and get 15% off of your first month subscription service to Scent Bird, which is a monthly subscription service that sends you perfumes, candles, hand lotions, and makeup. So you guys get down below, check out their website, and sign up.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and yes, I'm late, but I'm back, bitch. 90-day fiance before the 90 days. Let's get into. Yo, all right. Sometimes I wish that they wouldn't give me 2 hours, and then by the time I get to the end of the 2 hours, I'm like, well, I'm glad they gave me that 2 hours. Okay, you be needing all of this information, and plus they following so many different storylines. But let's start with Rachel and John. So Rachel goes back to the UK, to London, because she and John are getting married in, 2 weeks? So she's gonna spend 1 whole week there prior, and then the wedding is that next week. And when she gets there, they're in the car, and she finds out that John invited an ex-girlfriend to their engagement party. Here's the thing though. Rachel already knew about this because John gave her the passwords to his Facebook. So she signs in to his Facebook at her home computer in the United States, all right? While in the UK, he is having a conversation with his ex-girlfriend from some years ago, talking about how he still loved her. He loved her very much, and he was sorry about the way that he treated her, but he is a different guy now. And just like everybody else who would have seen this, Rachel was upset, okay? Rachel was fucking upset. She didn't know how to feel. My thing is, why would you still go out there and never say anything to him about it? Like, she was just in a car, kissing and hugging, acting like nothing had ever fucking happened, and was just waiting on him to tell her. But you know what? That probably was the best way to handle it. Instead of going at him all crazy and getting him all aggressive and angry, she just kind of waited in the water and let the truth reveal itself to her, okay? And eventually he did reveal it, and he didn't like how she reacted to it, and he kind of got upset because she was telling him which way to go. And I'm like, motherfucker, we in your town. Why am I giving you directions? That's how I felt about it, okay? But obviously it wasn't really, that much of a situation. He just kind of screamed on it. Well, which one is it? That's the right. And she said left, but she pointed right, and I do this all the time, so I was like, oh, I get it, my bad. Nigga be fucked up a little bit. Like, I'm just saying, it's just like a mistake of my mind sometimes. I know my left. This is my left. This is y'all's left, I'm assuming, because it would flip on the camera. But this is my left. Okay, it's my right. And I know because I am left-handed, all right? I know that. But even when you're explaining it to somebody, you still do that stupid shit. John tells Rachel that it didn't mean anything to him like that, okay? It was more so him clearing the air so that he can move on into their relationship, and that he is fully committed to her. He wants to marry her. He loves her. She's the one he wants to be with. And it just kind of seemed like there wasn't really as much resolve as you would have liked. She said that she felt like she got stabbed in the heart. Watching him say he loved her and all of that twisted that heart a little bit harder in her chest. And I understand, girl. That shit would have hurt me too. Sitting up there reading his messages as he talks about how much he loved another woman, and you supposed to be flying all the way to East Jesus, London to marry him in 2 weeks, bitch. That's a lot to put on the line for somebody that's doing that type of shit. John, what's wrong with you? You could have made it right with her without inviting her to your engagement party. That was not the time or the place for that energy. She didn't need to be there. What the fuck is wrong with you? How is Rachel supposed to trust you when this is the type of shit that you doing? I don't give a fuck that you gave her the password. I don't care that you didn't do anything with the bitch. This don't look right. It don't feel right. And it's definitely not something that she should be having to tackle emotionally and mentally 2 weeks before her fucking wedding to you. Okay? This shit is already rushed. It's already doing the most. And here you are, John. You, okay? You with your new haircut, okay? Making her feel insecure about making such a huge fucking decision. We don't even know if you're going to be able to come to America. She got a whole daughter in America that she left behind to come here and marry your ass, okay? You need to be 100% sure that you want to be with Rachel before she out here making these types of changes in her fucking life to be with you, okay? That's how I feel about it. Moving along. Tyreek wants Hazel to meet his daughter online, okay? And he tries to get his baby mama Rosita on the Snapchat shit on the phone. I'm saying Snapchat. It's not what I mean, y'all. My mind is still in vacation mode. I'm sorry, okay? He tries to FaceTime Rosita and get her to answer the phone so his daughter can talk to and see who Hazel is. Rosita isn't answering the fucking phone. Tyreek asked for Hazel to move out of the frame because he wants to not stir the pot. Apparently, him and Rosita have been fighting for custody of their daughter this entire time. Every time he's been with somebody in the past or tries to have some happiness in his life, somebody in his family comes to fuck it up. Be it his baby mama or his brother, they always trying to fuck up his situation. And he does not want Rosita to fuck up his situation with Hazel, try to make it so that he can't see his child, all of that type of shit. He doesn't want the complications. So he asked for Hazel to move out of the frame, I guess, until he would get the daughter on the phone, as if the mama couldn't sit right there and still see the shit. Either way, that made Hazel feel some type of way. So when Rosita never answered the phone, Hazel was like, so wait, did you tell her about me? And he was like, no, I didn't tell her because I don't want to aggravate the situation, and she will find a way to aggravate the fuck out of this situation. So now Hazel feels as if she doesn't know if Tyreek is really ready to marry her because he's not ready to tell his family about her. They go for another little nice dinner on the beach. And this is when Hazel tells us about her crazy ass family members. She has a sister in Japan who doesn't like Tyreek, even though she's never met him. And something tells me that your sister doesn't want you with the broke black man from America. She wants you to get with a rich Japanese man from Japan. And I'm like, so Hazel, why did you feel the need to tell him this? I guess to push him into the corner. You said you didn't feel like he was married, but then ultimately you passive aggressively gave him an ultimatum saying that, well, why don't you marry me? You basically was saying, marry me or there's somebody else that's going to be able to give me more who will marry me. This puts Tyreek in a corner. He don't like feeling like he's been pushed into a corner, all right? He don't like that feeling and all of that. And he wants to be sure that she isn't really thinking about going be with no rich Japanese man, leaving him after he done came here and spent all this money on her, spent all this time with her. He hoping that that's not what she gonna do. Ultimately, though, after she says that no, she really loves him, she really wants to be with him, he breaks out a song that he made for her, y'all. It's a song he made. He was rapping on a song, talking about how much he loved Hazel, wanted to be his woman. I was just like, oh my God, when you thought this couldn't get any more uncomfortable, here he is rapping the size of that head. And the fact that there's not a lot of gradient hair right on the top, he is rapping, Jesus. He is rapping. Why is this happening? Why are you making me want to change the channel, TLC? Okay, why? Y'all, I was so uncomfortable. Hazel didn't like it, but she lied to the producers and said that she did. Okay, I didn't like it. I don't even feel like, I like rapping. I don't feel like that was okay, all right? I feel like you should have had a poem or some shit, but you don't need to be recording full fucking songs, rapping, talking about how much you love Hazel and you want to be with her and how much you done went through to be with her and how you just can't wait to take her home, make her your wife and invite her to be the stepmama to your autistic child and all of this type of shit. Y'all, I could not. Okay, after she says she likes it, he gets down on one knee and proposes to her, and she kind of stands there for 10 minutes like, and we're like, well, bitch, what you gonna say now? What you gonna do, bitch? And she says yes. And the reason why she waited so long to answer is because she wasn't sure that he was really ready for marriage. So she didn't know it was going to happen on this trip. So she was actually greatly surprised that he decided to marry or get engaged with her on this trip. And I'm like, girl, look like Hazel had brought it on home. Sucky. Oh my God. Y'all, I hate Jesse and Darcy, man. Like, I hate Jesse and Darcy. I mean, I hate their relationship. I hate their situation. I hate having to watch him on television. He is so fucking annoying. He's so self-righteous. It's so full of indignation. And it's so annoying because he's so immature. Even though he thinks he's so mature, he gives himself so many pats on the back for absolutely nothing. He's been patting himself on the back the entire time for deciding to spend all of this money to travel from Amsterdam back to New York, also that he can break up with Darcy. I don't know why. Jesus. He tells Darcy to meet him in the park. okay? Now, Darcy done got her best J-Lo look-alike garb on, okay? Bitch got a fur coat on, titties plumped up, hair all over the, all long and wild and shit, giving you sex bed, kitten J-Lo tees, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything is just very cheap J-Lo about this. Not too cheap, but just not as rich J-Lo, you know what I'm saying? But it's cute. Now, the whole time, she don't know what to expect. She doesn't know what's going to happen, but Jesse says that while he was home, he found something out about Darcy, all right? And it basically confirmed his worst fears about Darcy. And I'm like, what the fuck could she possibly have done that would have confirmed your worst fears? What exactly are these worst fears that you have about Darcy? If you feel like Darcy is such a bad, unstable person, why do you continue to have this relationship with her? It only points at you feeling the need to be with a woman who is so emotionally inept that you, at 20-something years old, at least she's twice your age and you can still have a form of control over her. I feel like you seek out women who you find are needy. You seek out women who you think that you can mentally and emotionally control in a way that you have decided to mentally control Darcy. And I honestly feel like he invited Darcy to that park to make her think that he was going to propose to her because he knows that that is all that she wants. She's been asking that of him since they first got together. And I think that that's what he did. He did that on purpose because he wanted to fuck with her mind. Why would she bring luggage to the park and then offer you to get into the Uber and then take her back to the hotel? Explain that to me, Jesse. Did you think that she was going to show up to New York with no luggage? Okay? Because that's what it seemed like when he saw the luggage. Oh, well, let's go back to the hotel. So was you coming all the way to New York, staying in a hotel to invite her to a fucking park out in the middle of the winter so that you could break up with her? Really? Really? Then in the car ride on the way to the hotel, we find out all of this shit about how, oh, she got arrested. She didn't really get arrested. Apparently, she got a citation and they got a fine for disturbing the peace because she and her twin sister got into an argument. He says that it reported that Darcy hit her sister, but she did not hit her sister. Her sister herself says that they just had a loud argument, but it wasn't a physical fight. Either way, whatever happened between Darcy and her sister has absolutely nothing to do with Jesse. But Jesse is just the type of fucked up individual that would use that as a way to make her feel bad and would use that as a way to make it seem like she deserves to get shitted on and treated in this way and disrespected and broken up with like this. Jesse is a fucked up individual. And I saw this little extra clip of him with his mom and his mom with her white lady dreads. And I'm just sitting up there like, so you mean to tell me that your mom is a hippie and you act like you just came from two evil dictators? Like, what the fuck is really hood? I don't even care about what the lady's fake ass persona is. All I know is Jesse is a total and complete asshole, and that means that she must have done something wrong. Okay? That's all I can say. There's no judgment, but obviously you did something to create the monster that we now have to watch on TLC and all of this bullshit. I just gonna keep telling her to deal with her alcoholism and get some therapy. No, you get some therapy. You get some help, okay? Because in all honesty, like, he is bordering on the line of like a sociopath. Like, I wouldn't trust him around my kids alone. I wouldn't, all right? Evil in the eyes. Evil in the eyes. All right, y'all, Angela and Michael. I don't understand what the fuck happened between Angela and Michael this episode. First of all, they went on some type of a hike on some mountain with some rocks and shit. All right, I don't know why they did this because Angela had the damnedest time, but I guess Michael thought if I tie her ass out, maybe she won't leave. Maybe she'll make a better decision. If I tie y'all out and give her some dick, make sure I can find some cake or some shit to give to the bitch, maybe she'll go ahead and do what I want her to do, which is get engaged to me so she can take me to America and take care of me. That's what Michael wants. Throughout all of the conversations that they had throughout the episode, Angela kept saying she didn't know how to feel because she didn't trust Michael. She doesn't know if she really wants to be engaged with him. She only has a few days left. Ultimately, we get to the end of the episode and she gives him a fucking American flag with a ring wrapped in it. And I'm like, but bitch, why? Why? You don't want to be with him. He don't want to be with you. Not really. We see what it is. Like, I don't understand how she can see what this is. He tells you what he thinks you want to hear because he wants you to take him to America so that you can take care of him, even though you have repeatedly told him that you are getting old and you're going to need him to take care of you. I still think he's seeing this as an opportunity where I'm going to leave her before she gets to that point. And by then, I should have gotten my citizenship so I shouldn't have to stay with her ass. Like, Angela, I don't know what you telling yourself that you thought giving him a ring was the ending that this terrible fairy tale needed. Okay, this is the original fairy tale, bitch, without the happy ending. This is the original fairy tale where the kids get ate by the witch, but then the witch still somehow trips and falls into the fucking oven and dies anyway with the kids inside of her stomach. This is that story. Angela and Michael, y'all don't need to be together. Take y'all rings back. After she gave him the ring she got for him, he gets on one knee and he has a ring for her. So that makes her feel like she must have made the right decision. And she was like, Michael, why did you let me go first? And I wanted to surprise you. No, he wanted to make sure that you were going to make the decision that he wanted you to make before he decided you to No. He wanted to make sure that you were going to do what he wanted you to do before he got down on one knee and gave you that ring. He wanted to make sure that you wanted what he wanted before he gave up that jewelry, if you ask me. All right, y'all, Corinne and Paul. Y'all, my psychic tendencies was sparkling and sprinkling and all kind of shit all over, tingling and everything. I was watching this episode, y'all, and I kept saying to my husband that I felt bad because when we was at the beginning of this episode with Corinne and Paul and how they were going to try to work out this relationship for the baby, I was like, they don't need to have that baby. And I didn't mean it like, oh, the baby should die or something like that. I didn't mean it like that, but it was just a feeling I had that them two people don't need to have a child together. I don't know, all right? Then we hop, skip, and jump to them going to the hospital and finding out that the baby has been dead for a week. Y'all, I was so upset for her. I felt bad because I felt like I saw it coming or something. And I felt bad because I was like, did I just say that I wanted that to happen and it didn't happen? Because I feel like I didn't want that to happen. But it was definitely the thought that came into my mind when I saw them on the screen. And then to find out that the baby died, I felt so bad. And to watch him in the hospital room not knowing what the hell is going on because they're speaking Portuguese and he doesn't speak it, so he doesn't understand, but he can understand that everybody is upset. So he's crying, but he doesn't really understand. So production has to explain to Paul that it was some type of genetic issue that caused the baby to die. It wasn't getting any nourishment from the umbilical cord. And, within a week ago, it was only like 9 weeks at this point. So at 8 weeks, the baby died. And I felt so terrible for Corinne. She's 21. It's her first baby. But I really hope that it's not her last. And I don't think that it will be. And I also hope that it's not with Paul. I think that this is what they need to see as a blessing in disguise so that Corinne can have a baby for somebody that she really is supposed to be with and not somebody who they're forcing the relationship. Paul wants to have a wife who he can control because in America, it is hard to find a woman that beautiful that you can control. But here he has that. And even here, he doesn't really have that same control because her family and Corinne has a mind of her own, even though they don't speak the same language. And, he feels like they may need his money. I don't think that they really do. And I think that Corinne's mom made that very obvious when she told him that she would go to the grocery store and buy him whatever it is her son and his friends ate up in her house so that he would not be calling them thieves. Okay? So I'm sad that it happened, but then I feel like ultimately it's probably for the best because they don't even have citizenship in the same country. Who knows what it would have been like trying to have that child coming back and forth from the States to where Corinne is, or even if they would have tried to work it out. It just seemed like it was way too many variables involved for her to even continue to have a healthy pregnancy. They were always arguing, always fighting, always stressed out. He was always crowding her. Don't do this, don't do that. Like, it's too much. It's way too much, y'all. I'm sad that it happened, but they don't need to be in a relationship, let alone parents together. Y'all, Jimena ain't shit. Okay, so y'all know Ricky is about to spend the rest of his time in Colombia trying to make up for the fact that Jimena was plan B. All right. He told her last episode, she said she would forgive him, but this next time we see them, she's still feeling some type of way. So they're sitting on this pier and she asked him to jump into the waters and cleanse himself like it was Lake Minnetonka, even though he cannot swim. So he jumps into the water because he wants her to stop being mad. She says she will love him forever. So he jumps into the water. He was right by the dock. So he was able to hurry up and grab on to the side of the pier because, they have the things that you tie the rope around when you bring the boats in. So he is holding on to that. But his fat ass can't even bring himself to, jump back on. He couldn't lift himself back up, y'all. Production had to come and put the cameras down on a tripod to get his ass out the water. And Jimena felt bad because she was like, oh my God, he almost died, And I'm like, girl, you should have been looking like, you mean to tell me that you can't get yourself out this fucking water? This is ridiculous. How old are you? Your arm strength should be way more than that. You can't lift yourself up out of this water? Are you serious? Like, is it just me? Am I thinking that it was too easy? I could be thinking that it was too easy, but I've lifted myself out of pools before, and that's what this looked like. Which is why I don't understand, especially when he had that little lever. Like, you could have, like, in all honesty, like, just held on to the lever. You in water, so you just put your leg up and you kind of, like, try to tumble over or some shit like that. I don't know. All I know is he looked pathetic. He looked absolutely pathetic. But now she loves him. So they go on and they have dinner later that night, and he gets down on one knee to propose to her, and she accepts, and she says that they will get married. And I'm just sitting up here like, I guess so, Ricky and Jimena. If that's what y'all want to do with y'all lives, if y'all want to get married and be together, then I guess so. But I wonder if Jimena asked herself, did he have that ring ready for if Melissa had decided to answer his phone calls and actually spend time with him when he was out there? Because it looks like Plan B got the Plan A ring, goddammit. All right, look. 90 Day Fiancé was a hot-ass mess. I still enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next one.